This is KSL Sports Live, broadcasting from the Mountain Home Services studios.
Thanks for staying up with us. 4 Utah Mammoth players were a part of History Sunday. We'll show you that coming up.
Yeah, and a Memorial Day tradition. Who was kissing the bricks after winning the Indy 500? We'll show you that, plus a whole lot of state championship winning moments on the way.
Can't wait to get to that. But let's begin with the NBA playoffs. No team in NBA history has come back to win a conference finals after losing the first 2 games at home. That is the challenge the New York Knicks face against the Indiana Pacers.
And not only that, but when the Pacers have taken a 2-0 series lead in the playoffs, they've never lost a series. A perfect 13 for 13 in postseason play. Well, today, Game 3 takes the Eastern Conference Finals to Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Early in the game, it was T.J. McConnell, the surprise contributor off the bench. He had 10 points in just 9 minutes in the first half, gave Indy the lead. Second quarter, the Pacers' transition play was outstanding. Benedict Mathurin with the pass ahead to Pascal Siakam for the layup, 8-point lead. A bit later, Tyrese Halliburton with the steal. The lob back to Obi Toppin for the one-handed slam. Are the Pacers about to blow the Knicks out of the building? Halliburton with the steal, takes it the other way for the dunk, a 20-point lead. Now, the Pacers kept that transition game going in the second half with more effortless passing, ends up with another Toppin rim rocker. Pacers lead by 15 late in the third quarter. The Knicks are able to chisel that down just a bit. Miles McBride pulls up for 3. Knicks down 10 after 3 quarters. Then in the fourth quarter, Karl Anthony Towns takes over, drives the rim, scoops, scores, and draws the foul, cuts the lead to 3. Then Cat starts to pull up from outside as well. Top of the arc triple, cuts the lead to 1. It's 85-84. Next possession, Cat down the lane, the hammer. It's an 86-85 Knicks lead. They've erased that 20-point deficit. And Cat's not done. Step back 3. He scored 20 of his 24 points in the fourth quarter. Then with the game tied at 98, just over a minute to play, Jalen Brunson gives New York the lead for good with the floater, and that would do it. The Knicks may have just saved their series with the 106-100 win. Brunson finishing with 23 points. Cat added 15 rebounds to his 24-point game. Tyrese Halliburton led the Pacers with 20.
Wow. The Stanley Cup playoffs continue. Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals in Edmonton. Oilers and Stars and Oilers fans were ready for this. So was the 1933. That was the last time that USA Hockey won the gold at the Ice Hockey World Championships. Well, they could end that 92-year drought with the win over Switzerland in the final on Sunday.
Yeah, 4 Utah Mammoth players, Logan Cooley, Clayton Keller, Josh Doan, and Michael Kesselring, they all have been a big part of Team USA.
And they were all there when it took overtime to decide a winner Sunday, and that game-winning goal came just 2:02 into extra time.
Out for Cooley, ahead to Thompson. Tage Thompson with Logan Cooley. Thompson in, shoots, scores! Tage Thompson, golden goal! And the United States has won the World Hockey Championship.
Tage Thompson of the Buffalo Sabres with the championship goal. Logan Cooley with the assist. Team USA makes history in Sweden. The 92-year wait is over. The captain, Clayton Keller, raising the trophy above his head. What a moment for him and his teammates. Team USA, world champions.
Does it feel as good as you imagined?
Yeah, it's a special feeling. That was our goal from day one. We had lots of ups and downs this tournament. We stuck with it. We got better every game. It's such a fun team to be a part of, and I'm so thankful for all of my teammates, coaches, trainers. I could go down the list of all the people that made sacrifices for us to do this.
Clayton Keller looks good with gold around his neck. Utah's players were key to the United States' run to the gold. Keller was named the team captain, of course. He played like a captain. In 10 games played, Keller recorded 10 points, scored 3 goals, and dished out 7 assists. He had 2 3-point games in the tournament, scoring a goal and recording 2 assists in wins against Norway and Germany.
Logan Cooley had a great tournament. He also led the team in points with 12 and assists with 8. His 12 points were tied for 6th the entire tournament, and his assists were tied for 5th.
How about Michael Kesselring? He played well in the United States blue line, averaging more than 15 minutes of ice time per game. Had 2 multi-point games, which included 2 assists in a win against Denmark and a goal and an assist in a win over Kazakhstan.
Josh Doan played in 9 games in the tournament. He scored a goal against, guess who, Karel Vejmelka of Czechia. one of the cool moments of the tournament. Going up against each other.
Yeah, the Mammoth were not only represented by the United States, as you just saw there, Karel Vemelka, Czechia's starting goalkeeper. In 8 games played, Veggie had 120 saves, which was tied for 8th best in the tournament. He allowed just 13 goals for a save percentage of 90.23%.
One of the greatest and long-running traditions on Memorial Day weekend is the Indy 500. The 109th running took place Sunday. Alex Palou has won 3 of the last 4 IndyCar titles, but he's never won the Indy 500. Could Sunday be the day he drinks milk at the Brickyard? Driver, start your engines. Well, this didn't go well. Lap 76, Alexander Rossi's car catches fire during the pit stop. He escapes the car, but he was done for the day. We go to lap 93. Stingray Robb, yes, that's his real name, hits the wall, spins out, and crashes into the tire wall. His day's over. Only 14 laps to go. Alex Palou takes the lead for Marcus Ericsson. Palou takes the checkered flag. His first Indy 500 title. He becomes the first Spaniard to win the race and drink that milk. Yum.
All right, let's hit the diamond. The Salt Lake Bees wrapping up a series against the Iowa Storm Chasers. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Bees down 2-1. Chad Stevens flips the score with one big swing. Solo homer tying the game up, sending it to extra innings. Top 10, it's Jack Caglione, the number 6 overall pick for the Kansas City Royals, hitting the go-ahead homer for the Storm Chasers. Omaha would get the win today, 5-3. Well, Shohei Ohtani, we haven't seen him pitch in 2 years as he continues to recover from Tommy John surgery. Today, he took a step closer to a return to the mound. He pitched a live batting practice session before this afternoon's game against the Mets. Of course, while we wait for his return to pitching, Ohtani continues to crush opposing pitchers at the plate. On the second pitch of this game, he blasts the 94-mile-per-hour four-seamer over the wall and right. That's tied for the major league lead with 18 homers. The Mets respond right away, though, bottom half of the inning. Pete Alonso with a runner on base, his 10th homer of the season, gives the Mets the 2-1 lead. The Mets pitching only gave up 6 hits, and the Mets win their 32nd game of the season, 3-1.
AL West from the minors to the show. Mariners and Astros, bottom of the 9th, game tied at 3. Christian Walker at the plate. That's trouble for the Mariners. A solo home run and a walk-off. He had 3 of the 4 Astros runs in the game. Big step for the Astros here as they take 3 of 4 from the division-leading Mariners.
Central Division-leading Cubs were down 8-3 after 5 innings against the Reds, but in the 7th, Nico Horner one-hops the wall in left center, 2-run double, cuts the lead to 2. Then in the 8th, Reese McGuire, his 2nd homer of the game, his only 2 homers all season, and it ties the game up at 8. 3 batters later, Seiya Suzuki, a 3-run shot to left. The Cubs score 8 unanswered runs, and they get the 11-8 win.
The 9-43 Colorado Rockies trying to take 2 or 3 from the second-best team in the American League, the New York Yankees, down 5-3 in the bottom of the 9th. They make it interesting. Former Salt Lake Bee Mickey Moniak with a solo home run, 417 feet to cut the Yankees' lead to 1. Winning run on base with 2 outs when Hunter Goodman grounds out to end the game. The Yankees take 2 of 3 from the Rockies, who are on pace for a 28-134 record. Woof.
All right, Twins and Royals locked in a close, low-scoring game here. Top 9 tied at 1. Twins right fielder Trevor Larnach, the diving catch to end the inning. Can the Twins walk it off for a 3rd straight game? In extra innings, 2 outs in the 10th. Michael Garcia lines one to left. We have a play at the plate here. Nick Lofton sliding in to beat the throw home. The Royals end up getting the win on the road, 2-1. This was kind of cool today. Tennis legend Rafael Nadal. He hasn't touched a racket in 7 months since he announced his retirement from the sport. Well, today in the first weekend of this year's French Open, Nadal was honored at Roland Garros, where he won a record-breaking 14 French Open titles. And look at this. It was almost like seeing a living Mount Rushmore when fellow legends Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Andy Murray joined Nadal at center court to celebrate the 22-time Grand Slam winner and wish him well in his retirement.
What a career. The all-time greats just standing there on the clay courts. Pretty cool.
You're watching KSL Sports Live.
One of the greatest sports moments of the 20th century happened on this day 60 years ago. May 25th, 1965, Muhammad Ali versus Sonny Liston 2, the rematch. Ali would knock out Liston in the first round, with Liston hitting the canvas at 144 into that first round, considered one of the most controversial finishes, many contending the knockout punch was a phantom punch. Sports Illustrated photographer Neil Leifer captured this image of the knockout that is one of the most iconic images in sports history. All right, a bombshell news story dropped on Wednesday that has BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff facing serious accusations and his senior season of football in doubt.
Yeah, a civil lawsuit was filed Wednesday in 3rd District Court in Salt Lake County that accuses Retzlaff of sexual assault.
Retzlaff has not been charged with a crime, but the allegations in the lawsuit are serious and disturbing. You can read the details of the lawsuit on KSLSports.com. Retzlaff's attorney, Mike Botti, issued a statement saying his client is a nice young man and that he is also factually innocent, and we look forward to proving that innocence, unquote. Longtime defense attorney Greg Skordas joined Hanson Scotty this week to explain what to expect with this case moving forward.
If you read the civil lawsuit, you can see that the alleged victim here, and this is the case against Jake Retzlaff, did at least contact initially the Provo Police Department, and there was some attempt to take this criminally. So I'm assuming, just reading between the lines, because this is alleged to have occurred 18 months ago, that the prosecutors, the Utah County Attorney's Office, decided not to charge the case criminally, and so this is now her only remedy.
Well, moving on to soccer now. Real Salt Lake has struggled to score goals this season. We've seen that, and they've struggled to win games this season as well. On Saturday against Vancouver, though, RSL didn't seem to struggle at all. They scored 2 goals in the first 4 minutes of the game. The first time in club history they've scored multiple goals within 5 minutes of a match, but Vancouver would end up scoring 3 unanswered goals to hand RSL yet another loss. Well, here is something to be excited about, though. The first goal of that match was scored in that opening minute by Xavier Gozo, an 18-year-old kid who was born and raised here in Utah, a true RSL homegrown. He became the 3rd youngest goal scorer in the club's 21-year history. The goal, coming 50 seconds into the match, is the 7th fastest goal scored in RSL's 663-game history.
The Utah Warriors get a big win Sunday, winning on the road against NOLA. The NOLA Gold, 22nd minute. This is Nolan Tuamohiloa. What a match he had. Breaks free for the try to put Utah up 26-7 after the conversion. The Warriors would hold on for the 31-28 win, and with those points, they now tie the Houston SaberCats in the standings with 48 points. That's tied for the most in Major League Rugby. They host Anthem RC out of Charlotte at Zions Bank Stadium on Friday. Utah Valley Baseball will represent the state in the NCAA College Baseball Tournament. We find out who they play, when, and where tomorrow at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Thursday night, we'll show you how they got there. This is how it got started. Wolverines get a combined no-hitter from Cooper Littledyke and Colton Kennedy to defeat Sac State and get to the final. It's the first no-hitter in UVU's NCAA era and the first in WAC tournament history. Saturday, UVU found themselves down 5-1 in the 5th. They would get 2-run shots from Dominic Longo and Jimmy Deonda. The game was tied at 9 in the 9th inning when Mason Strong hit his 2nd home run of the day. That was the go-ahead score. Utah Valley wins the WAC championship and secures their 2nd ever automatic bid to the NCAA tournament.
Well, the Junior College World Series is underway in Grand Junction, Colorado, and Salt Lake Community College is one of 10 teams to have qualified for that double elimination tournament. Bruins pitchers Jackson Grossman and Dallin Weatherly combined to pitch a 2-hitter in Slick's opener Saturday night. Hudson Manwaring went 4 for 5 at the plate with 5 RBI in a 16-2 Salt Lake win. They now advance in the bracket. They will face Lakeland tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in Grand Junction.
Breakfast with the Bruins. Can't wait. All right, now to high school. State championship season upon us once again, and it's time to celebrate those winners. And we start in the sport of baseball.
Yeah, American Fork and Lehigh, they met up in the Class 6A best-of-3 series. American Fork won Game 1, 10-0 on Friday.
So we go to Game 2. American Fork going for the title on Saturday. 2nd inning. Caveman's Brandon Upham with a moonshot over the left field wall to get American Fork on the board first. Cavemen are so good. 6th inning, American Fork gets a 3 RBI double from Max Miller. American Fork goes up 5-1. Last chance for Lehigh, but the hit goes right to the pitcher, and that's going to be the game-ending 1-6-3 double play. American Fork went undefeated in the tournament. Their 3rd championship in the last 5 years. This is the 12th state baseball title in school history. That's second only to Bingham's 22.
Very impressive run. Well, the 5A championship went to a winner-take-all Game 3 between Spanish Fork and Brighton. Brighton's up 3-2 in the first. Spanish Fork's Cody McLean to the right field gap. That'll get down, and the Dons take the lead. Final inning, Brighton needs a rally. They're down 3 with 2 outs. It's popped up in foul territory. Sammy Dart moves over to make the play. Spanish Fork pulls off the major upset. They were the 20th seeded team with a 9-16 regular season record. They win the 5A state championship.
They know how to win state titles at Spanish Fork in baseball. That continues. Now to softball, Riverton and Bingham have now combined to win the last 5 6A softball titles in Utah as the 2 powerhouse programs met again for a state title on Thursday.
Yeah, let's see how that went down. That was a winner-take-all Game 3 for the 6A title. First inning, Maggie Hamblin. Solo shot to right. That gives Riverton a 2-0 lead. She had a homer in Game 2 as well in this series. Bingham started the 5th down 5-1, but they get the engine going. Brenna Cowley starts it off with a drive to center that finds the gap. That scores 2. They would then tie the game when Grace Lee Lemke hits one deep to center. That's a sac fly, bringing in the go-ahead run for Bingham. Bottom 5, 2 on for Riverton's Bailey Sanchez. Deep to left and over the wall. Riverton back in front 8-6. However, Brighton appeals this call. Riverton forgot to inform the umpires that Sanchez had subbed back in the game. She was not the legal batter, so 3 runs come off the board, and it's called a 3rd out. Bingham still leads then 6-5. Bottom of the 6th, Bingham now up 2, bases loaded for freshman Grace Leary. She finds the gap in right center, and it's going to be a bases-clearing triple for Riverton. They get the 3 runs back and take the lead 8-7 after all. Final inning, Bingham needing a rally, but Riverton squashes any comeback with the double play. Riverton goes on to win back-to-back for their 4th 6A state championship in 5 years, their 5th overall.
Insane ball players, but they're just great humans, and I don't feel like I deserve them. I'm just so proud and thankful for the opportunity to be a part of their journey because they're just phenomenal humans.
I was just so excited. I knew that once I hit that, my teammates would back me up and we just keep going, and I was confident in my teammates.
It was so awesome. I loved it so much. It was awesome.
Now to the 5A championship game. Can West Jordan take Game 2 against Salem Hills? First inning, Salem Hills, Emery Wilson to left, bringing in a run. Skyhawks would take a 3-0 lead after 1 inning. In the 5th inning, West Jordan's bats came alive. Haley Fox hits a hard grounder up the middle, scores 2. West Jordan ends the 5th up by 3. Salem Hills was down to their final out. Rita Tavita catches the corner for the game-ending strikeout. That's it. West Jordan winning their first ever softball state title.
It means a lot. I mean, to go in the history books as the one of the first it's just an honor, and to be able to do it with the people who I love and all of the support that we've had, I'm so grateful for it.
I have no words to describe, I'll be honest. It feels amazing, really. But the girls put in all the work. It's all on them. You know, they showed up to every practice. Like, they put in the work. I was not easy on them at all.
All right, the fun is just getting started. More state titles up for grabs next.
Yeah, including boys soccer, lacrosse as well, state championships. And we do a little flashback to the top plays from this week in high school tournament play. All that fun is on the way right after this.
Welcome back. We continue to show you the best from championship week for spring high school sports in Utah.
Yeah, let's pick the fun back up with boys soccer titles from multiple classifications from this past week. And Wasatch and Alta delivered a thriller in the 5A boys soccer finals. Game tied at 1 in the second half. Wasatch takes the lead on this golazo from Cole Simpson. The header for the 2-1 Wasatch lead. Alta would tie it up, though. With 15 minutes to go in the game, Jack McAllister from 40 yards out on the free kick to the back of the net gave Alta the lead, and that would prove to be the game winner. Alta winning the state championship.
At the beginning of the year, our team, we set goals for ourselves, and one of the goals was win state, and we did it. And everything we worked for, we do extra sprints at practice, it all showed. It's a great group of boys.
Happy that he's able to step on the field for us, and what a great team player too, always supporting his teammates, and that was an insane goal. That was awesome.
13th-seeded Bingham Cinderella ride brought them to the 6A state title game against second-seeded American Fork. 30th minute, the Cavemen's Lewis Connect gets inside the Bingham defense and gives AF the 1-0 lead. That's all they needed. The American Fork Cavemen repeat as the 6A state soccer champions.
Well, I played on this field 4 times, and I've never once scored. And then to be on it, state finals, you know, it just means everything. To score the one and only goal that take us to win the game, it really is an unbelievable feeling. But it really belongs to the team. I mean,
The 4A final came down to number 4 Crimson Cliffs and number 2 Dixie. First half, Dixie controlled most of the possession, but Crimson Cliffs' Ezekiel Weir puts the rebound in to give them the 1-0 lead. Starting the second half, Mustangs have the free kick. The Flyers not able to clear this one from the box, and look what happens. Bittner Mitchell scores. Crimson Cliffs winning their second championship in 4 years.
Dixie came in really, you know, obviously we thought they'd come in expecting to win. We realized we're the underdogs. We thought, it's our last game for us seniors. You know, we got to give it all we got. This is our last game no matter what, and we want to come home with a trophy.
Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman was the place to be for state lacrosse this past week. Corner Canyon has won 3 straight state titles in boys lacrosse. That's every single title since lacrosse became a sanctioned high school sport here in Utah. They were back in the 6A championship game again, no surprise. A rematch from last year against Davis. First half, Aston Wood feeds Rocky Edelman for the goal. 3 seconds left in the half when that happened, and Davis led 5-3 at halftime. Third quarter, Luke Fisher able to equalize for Corner Canyon. Then how about this? The ensuing faceoff is going to be won by Easton Daines, and he just takes this one right to the net. And Corner Canyon, with 3 straight, takes the lead. Opening minute of the 4th. The Darts, Rocky Edelman gets his second of the game to put Davis back up by a goal, but the Chargers' Pearson DeGracie took over. 3 straight goals by the sophomore. A 4th quarter hat trick for him. Corner Canyon does it again. They are your 6A state champs.
Brighton with a chance for back-to-back titles in 5A playing Park City. Park City built a 3-point lead heading into the 4th. Brighton scored 3 straight, capped off by that Colt McKeon goal to tie it at 7. Just over 3 minutes to play. Miners trailing by 1. Deegan McCloskey, his second goal of the game, ties it at 9. Same score, 1:20 left to play. Great ball movement. Colt McKeon scores again. That's your game winner. Back-to-back state titles for the Brighton Bengals.
All right, 4A championship was between Juan Diego and the defending champs Judge Memorial. Bulldogs on the board first. Junior Will Trenton with the goal. Bulldogs led 4-1 after the first. Then their offense really caught fire in the second. 6 goals in that quarter. Freddie Gowski ended with a hat trick. And Trentman had 4 goals in the game. It was a 10-2 game at the half. Judge Memorial cruises to their second straight state title, 15-4.
All right, on to girls lacrosse. Mountain Ridge has fallen in the last 2 lacrosse championships by just 1 goal. Farmington fell in last year's semifinal by a goal. Well, one of these teams has to win. Something's got to give, right? Will Mountain Ridge break that streak, or will Farmington get to their first title? Third quarter, free position for Taya Chalk. But instead of a shot, it's a pass to a cutting Carly Farnsworth for the goal. Sentinels up 6-3 in the third. Farmington makes a run. They get it to Alexander McCauley in front of the cage, and Farmington's going to score 5 straight and take the lead. It's an 8-9 deficit for Mountain Ridge with 3 minutes left. Farmington's goalie L. Erickson steals the pass, but Chalk is able to chase it down, take it back, quickly finds Layla Homestead for the quick goal, and it's late, tied at 9. Minute and a half left. McCauley on the drive. She's going to spin. She finds Kate Carter in front of the cage. That's your game winner. Another heartbreaking 1-goal loss for Mountain Ridge, but elation for Farmington. They get their first girls lacrosse state championship. What a way to win it.
It might just be luck. 30 years of charm. I mean, last year he lost in triple overtime in the semifinals to the eventual champion. So this was the next step, and I'm just happy I got to see it with this group of girls, especially our seniors. They were unbelievable. They wanted this so badly, and I'm just so happy that it came true for them.
In Class 4A, Bear River girls lacrosse has become a dynasty. Winners of 3 straight championships. They were looking for more this week.
Yeah, they have also won every 4A state title since lacrosse became a sanctioned sport here in Utah. So will the dominance continue? Can Waterford pull off the upset against Bear River, though? Second quarter, Bear River dominating Wilkinson to Webb in front of the net. It's a 6-1 Bears lead. They're looking really good. Waterford battles back. They go on a 5-1 run to get within a goal with just a minute left. But Bear River gets an insurance goal from Wilkinson right there. They hold on to win their 4th straight state title in lacrosse.
Park City and Olympus in the 5A state championship. The Miners blew the game open in the 3rd period. They go on a 5-0 run to take a commanding lead. Park City dominated 16-6. The Miners are the only team to stay ranked as the #1 team all year long in 5A. It's the 3rd girls lacrosse title for Park City. Up next, the best plays of the week from the spring sports state tournaments. Oh, these are good. We're going to relive them next. Time flies when you're having fun, and we've had a lot of fun covering high school sports this year. We are proud to be the exclusive streaming partner of UHSA Championships, and we hope you've enjoyed all the action on our digital platforms.
Yeah, and we also have some of our favorite moments from this past week of state tournaments play, and we picked out our top plays for this.
Let's start with this. On Monday, 5A baseball tournament, Maple Mountain got taken down by their rival Spanish Fork, but here they were playing Viewmont in the early rounds, bottom of the 6th. Cy Chrisman with the bases loaded. That's a walk-off grand slam. They mercy ruled Viewmont and got the win. They were the favorites to win the tournament. They came up short.
On Tuesday in the 5A state softball tournament, Salem Hills completed their comeback with this walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 7th. Layla Stevenson over the fence. She was the hero. Celebrate at home plate. You got to love those moments.
Of course, we just showed you they made it to the state championship game. On Monday, Orem was down 4 in the bottom of the 7th after tying it at 9. Tayden Kaava walked it off for the Tigers with a 2-run home run. The quarterback of the football team doing it on the baseball diamond as well. Tigers got that wild win.
Let's check out the soccer pitch now. 6A boys soccer semifinals. American Forks Miller Hall on the free kick. Watch this. Bends it in. That was also the game winner. Not a bad celebration from Hall either. Check this out. He channels his inner Jason Christ there with the...
All right, a little flip. All right. The 13th seeded Bingham Miners needed 12 shootout rounds to take down the top seeded Lone Peak in the 6A soccer semifinal. Eli LaRosa gets it past the keeper as Bingham defeated Lone Peak 12-11 in the shootout, taking down the #1 seed. Massive upset, and what a way to win it.
12 penalty kicks. That's a lot. All right. Game 2 of the Riverton Bingham Championship Series. Hard grounder at third, and look at that. Riverton's Bailey Martinez with the nice quick hop throw to first for the out. And then look at that, to end the inning, another web gem. Grace Leary with the diving grab for the 3rd out. Riverton makes the comeback after losing the first game to win the whole thing. What plays there?
In game 2 of the 5A baseball final, Spanish Fork needs 1 out to force a game 3. The ball is popped down the third base line, and Caden Lamson tracks it and makes a falling catch to send the series to a game 3, and eventually they would win the state championship.
Tuesday. You know, it's not often you get a web gem to end a game, but Davis first baseman, Wally Grant, watch this.
Bounce it to first.
Oh, my goodness. The diving stick at the bag with the tying run on as well, or at the plate, I should say. He makes the stop and the out to secure the win. What a play.
That was a lot of fun. Of course, you can always catch all the action from all the high school sports right there on the KSL Sports app.